I'd like to thank Indonesia for stepping up as tournament hosts.
Hey everyone, this is Tina from FIFA Update. So, as you can see, the FIFA president Gianni Infantino says, the Indonesian national team is ready to level up. These three European countries are ready to be their opponents. Serious, bolder, and more shocking way. And what's causing a stir is that these three European giants are said to be ready to be potential opponents who will test how far the Garuda's strength can go. FIFA has reportedly again appointed Indonesia as the host of the FIFA Matchday in June 2026. And this time the atmosphere is guaranteed to be much more heated, much more prestigious, and far from ordinary. Because the opponents will not be just any team, but elite European teams ready to test the true level of the Indonesian national team under the command of new coach John Hartmann. This major decision came after FIFA conducted a thorough evaluation of the previous matches, especially the final match against Bulgaria, which was deemed not to reflect the quality of a top-class match. In this assessment, Indonesia was deemed to have surpassed that level and was deemed very worthy of moving up to face opponents with a much higher standard of play and more competitive. To be honest, against Bulgaria, the Indonesian national team actually performed far more dominantly, more courageously, and more classy. It's just that luck hasn't been on their side. Furthermore, Bulgaria's game, often filled with dramatic ups and downs and rolling, slightly disrupted Indonesia's rhythm. In fact, in terms of quality, the Indonesian national team is no longer a team to be underestimated. With John Hartmann's new tactical concoction, many were truly surprised by the Garuda's shift in playing style, becoming much more modern, aggressive, and structured. Even the British media got involved and gave special attention to this development. But before we delve further into the comments from the British media that have begun to stir, let's first examine. These are formidable opponents ready to challenge the Indonesian national team. They also boast star players with the potential to take the field. Big names like England, Italy, and Germany are now firmly on the radar as potential opponents for the Indonesian national team. This isn't just hearsay or baseless rumors, as these rumors first surfaced in a credible British media outlet. According to the British media report, with incredibly fanatical support, increasingly modern facilities, and a team that continues to improve drastically, Indonesia is now starting to be viewed as a serious host, even as a team truly ready to advance to the international football stage. Furthermore, in the recent FIFA series, the Indonesian national team also demonstrated that they possess many high-quality players worthy of playing at a higher level. These include Elkan Baggett, who has experience in the Premier League, Idn'S, who has experienced the rigors of Italian football, and other names like Ol Ramani, who are starting to attract attention. And most interestingly, Elkan Baggett's name has exploded in the British media. This defender received extraordinary attention and a flood of praise from various parties. The narrow 0-1 defeat to Bulgaria in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final didn't deter the world. Instead, the attention of the British media immediately focused on one key figure, Elkan Baggett. British media outlet TWD specifically highlighted the performance of the switch-down defender. In their report, they emphasized that despite not being a starter in the final, Baggett still played a vital role and made a significant contribution to the Indonesian defense. Baggett came on in the 59th minute when Indonesia fell behind to a Marin Petkov penalty in the 38th minute. The goal ultimately proved decisive for Bulgaria in a tight and tense match. Although only a substitute in the final, Baggett's contribution was still considered significant. In fact, this match, his 26th appearance for the Indonesian national team, further solidified his status as a key pillar of the Garuda defense. Previously, Baggett had been incredibly solid in Indonesia's 4-0 victory over St. Kitts and Nevis. In the semi-finals, his performance had given the Indonesian public great optimism for the final. In the final, Indonesia faced a team that played a very tight game. Bulgaria preferred to crowd their players at the back and frequently rolled around. Baggett's introduction in the second half was expected to strengthen the defense and help distribute the ball from the back line. Unfortunately, the national team was unlucky despite numerous chances. One chance by Ramini hit the crossbar and failed to convert into a goal. Until the final whistle, Indonesia had not been able to equalize. Although the final result was not in their favor, one thing was undeniable. Elkan Bagot's performance truly stole the attention and even became a hot topic in the British media. Interestingly, the British media also highlighted the possibility of Bagot being called up again for an important agenda in June. In fact, many parties there began to comment that it would be very interesting, even extraordinary, if the Indonesian national team could hold a friendly match against England directly. And it is not impossible to make such a hot match happen, considering that Eric Thohir has a strong network in Europe, especially in England. Furthermore, the Indonesian national team is now coached by an English coach, further opening up the possibility of a prestigious duel. However, it is not just England. Two other European giants, Italy and Germany, are also mentioned as potential opponents for the Indonesian national team. Moreover, all three countries are known to have established cooperation with Indonesia in the field of football. So now the question is even more heated. Of these three European giants, who do you think is the most suitable opponent for the Indonesian national team to truly test the Garuda's level? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. This isn't just a test match. It's a major step towards world-class football. Indonesia. Vietnam doubts. The Indonesian national team is ready to prove its strength in the 2026 AFF Cup. Vietnamese media have enthusiastically welcomed the critical spotlight. The Indonesian national team is in danger of losing a key pillar in the 2026 AFF Cup. Several leading Vietnamese media outlets have recently begun to pay intense and serious attention to the preparations made by the Indonesian national football team ahead of one of the biggest events in Southeast Asia, the 2026 AFF Cup. This attention comes even though the tournament is still several months away. This highlights the close attention the neighboring country is paying to the potential developments and changes in the Garuda team's strength. Vietnamese media outlets are closely monitoring the various dynamics and preparations underway by the Indonesian national team, which they believe could determine Indonesia's performance in this indefinite competition. At the same time, the Indonesian national team, now under the direction of Canadian coach John Hurtman, is facing a serious threat due to a possible significant decline in the squad's quality and strength compared to their performances in previous tournaments. Coach Hurtman, renowned for his tactical prowess and experience in building teams from the ground up, is now facing immense pressure due to the absence of several key players who typically contribute significantly, particularly those competing in European leagues and other international competitions. This threat has become a major focus of various analyses and predictions regarding Indonesia's fate in next year's AFF Cup. Previously, as part of the team's development and ability evaluation process, the Indonesian national team participated in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. On this occasion, they faced several teams from outside Asia, such as Bulgaria from Eastern Europe and St. Kitts and Nevis from the Caribbean, as a test of the team's quality and readiness to face a variety of playing styles and strategies. This friendly match was also seen as a golden opportunity to assess the Indonesian players' adaptation to international-level play, as well as to identify areas that needed improvement before the AFF Cup officially began. However, Ali treated the Indonesian national team as a competitor to be wary of and a major threat to other countries in the region. Vietnamese media instead chose to highlight the opportunities arising from the various problems currently facing the Garuda team. They noted the fragile condition of the Indonesian squad, which they believed could pave the way for other teams to seize their position in the fierce battle for the championship. This provided evaluation material and a realistic picture for Vietnamese football observers in formulating their strategies and expectations for the upcoming championship. Shortly afterward, Soha, one of Vietnam's leading sports media outlets, publicly issued a rather surprising statement, alleging a potential player crisis for the Garuda squad during the 2026 AFF Cup. The media outlet focused on concerns that Indonesia might not be able to field its best squad due to various factors. ranging from match schedules clashing with the international football calendar to the individual busy schedules of players spread across the world's top leagues. This statement was not without basis and had been thoroughly analyzed based on the current situation involving various Indonesian football players. The report published by Soha stated that the Vietnam national team had received encouraging and very positive news thanks to the current situation in Indonesia. This situation appears to significantly increase our team's chances of defending the AFF Cup title we won in the previous edition. This statement indicates how Vietnam openly embraced the situation, which weakened their rivals in the competition, making their chances for consecutive success more open and realistic. The main factor fueling this concern was the 2026 AFF Cup schedule, which was not included in the official FIFA calendar. The tournament's rescheduling from July 24th to August 26, 2026, complicates matters. European clubs, particularly those in top leagues like the English Premier League, Spain, Italy, and Germany, are not obligated to release their players to represent their national teams in this competition. This is undoubtedly a major disadvantage for countries with numerous players plying their trade in European leagues, including Indonesia, which relies heavily on naturalized and diaspora players playing in European competitions. The impact of this provision is the high possibility that several key Indonesian national team players currently playing for European clubs will face obstacles in obtaining permits or the opportunity to compete in the 2026 AFF Cup. Soha Media even emphasized that compared to other participants in this tournament, Indonesia is the team most significantly impacted by this issue. This also poses a risk to the team's overall quality. This presents a serious dilemma for the national team management and Coach Hertman in determining the lineup for the event. According to Soha's analysis, the Indonesian national team will likely only be able to rely on players from domestic competitions who compete in local leagues and the surrounding Southeast Asian region. If this situation actually occurs, then naturalized players who pursue careers in European leagues will almost certainly be unable to contribute to the national team's strength and performance. This situation will undoubtedly negatively impact the team's potential and its stated goals, especially if it hopes to secure its first-ever AFF Cup title. This is certainly a major problem considering that Indonesia currently boasts a number of big-name diaspora and naturalized players who are the backbone of the national team's game plan. For example, Emil Otero, a prolific goalkeeper. Then there's Martes, who also plays the mainstay goalkeeper. Kevin Dick, Jay Itzy, and Kelvin Verdonk play key roles in the back and midfield. All of them are experienced players with extensive experience in European leagues, which is undoubtedly invaluable to the team's strength. Other names like Justin Hubner, Joey Pelupisi, Nathan Chu Aon, Ol Ramani, and Ragnar Orit Mangan have emerged, all known for their significant contributions to the national team's performance in various international matches. They bring experience, creativity, and excellent physical fitness. Therefore, their absence will be a significant disadvantage for the squad led by Hertman. Their contributions are vital. In fact, on several occasions, their roles have been able to change the course of matches in Indonesia's favor. Soha emphasized that if the stars mentioned above are unable to participate in the 2026 AFF Cup, the Indonesian national team's core strength will suffer a drastic and significant decline. This negative consequence will undoubtedly be challenging and stressful. This is especially true given that the Indonesian national team is targeting its first-ever AFF Cup title. This statement underscores the crucial role of naturalized and diaspora players in the team's chances of success. This current situation clearly presents a serious and complex challenge for the Indonesian national team, especially for coach John Hertman, who must find new formulas and strategies to ensure his squad remains competitive despite the loss of several key players. The goal of winning the title for the first time in history undoubtedly presents a mental and technical burden that must be overcome by all elements of the coaching staff and players as a unified team. The squad's strength and depth will be truly tested in a fiercely competitive and pressure-filled environment. Meanwhile, Vietnam views this situation as a significant opportunity to solidify its position as the dominant force in Southeast Asia in this most prestigious football event. They believe that the absence of key Indonesian national team players who are playing in various European leagues will weaken the competitiveness of their main opponents, especially when the two teams are scheduled to meet in the group stage of the upcoming AFF Cup. This will undoubtedly provide extra motivation for the Vietnamese team to maximize their performance and maintain regional prestige. Thus, the current state of the Indonesian national team's preparations presents a unique dynamic that has the potential to change the competitive landscape in the 2026 AFF Cup. Both in terms of technical, tactical, and psychological strength, all appear to have the potential to change Indonesia's resources. Mistakes happen, but Id's quality is unquestionable. Indonesian national team captain It's received sharp criticism and in-depth assessments after Sassuolo's heated match against Cagliari in the 2025 to 2026 Italian Serie A. The match between Sassuolo and Cagliari in Week 31 of the 2025 to 2026 Serie A season was played out in a tense and highly anticipated atmosphere. The match not only featured a variety of action on the pitch, but also several dramatic moments that effectively pumped up the adrenaline and emotions of the spectators watching the match, both in person at the stadium and via television broadcasts. In this passionate and competitive match, Inero Ferdi's team, known for their proud green and black colors, were required to work harder and be more focused than usual to secure a narrow, meaningful victory. This victory was crucial for them, achieved in front of a packed crowd of loyal supporters at Mape Stadium, Sassuolo's home ground, on Saturday night, April 4th, 2026, Western Indonesian time. The stadium spectators felt the atmosphere was truly electric, as both teams displayed a fierce fight and high spirits to achieve the best possible result. In this emotionally charged and fiercely competitive match, the media and football fans' attention focused on one key player, It's the mainstay defender and captain of the Indonesian national football team. It's played a key role in defense and played a crucial role as the leader of the Sassuolo squad's backline, which competes in the Italian Serie A. Throughout the match, Sassuolo faced a rather disadvantageous situation that required them to work extra hard. They had to fight to recover from the psychological blow of an early goal, which came from a controversial penalty decision. This penalty was due to a mistake by Jaets in the 26th minute of the match, which ultimately resulted in the penalty being awarded to Cagliari. The incident occurred when a young defender and the pride of the Indonesian national team, was caught accidentally making contact with the ball with his hand during a fierce battle for possession in the penalty box. His opponent, Sebastiano Esposito, a Cagliari player known for his incredible speed and agility in the Italian Serie A, was also involved in the duel. This hand contact was a crucial foul, as the referee deemed it potentially game-changing. Referee Daniele Chivi, who officiated the match, then conducted a review procedure using video assistant referee technology, which continues to improve in reliability and accuracy. Through FAR, the referee was able to review the incident from various camera angles in detail before ultimately deciding to point to the penalty spot and award Sassuolo a penalty. This decision immediately drew mixed reactions from supporters of both teams and football observers. The Cagliari striker, who had the honor of taking the penalty, Sebastiano Esposito, displayed extraordinary composure under the pressure of the crucial moment. With his skill and experience, Esposito directed the ball with precision and masterful technique into the bottom left corner of the Sassuolo goal, which was tightly guarded by goalkeeper Ari Janet Muric, who had already made a spectacular save. Despite Murica's quick reflexes and quick response, Esposito's shot was unstoppable and landed safely in the net. The penalty gave Cagliari a temporary 1-0 lead. This situation undoubtedly put immense pressure on Sassuolo, who now had to fight hard to catch up and secure all 3 points in this crucial home match. The team's mentality and strategy were tested in these circumstances, as they needed to improve their performance and respond positively to stay in the tight league competition. Remains in a tight league competition. The reaction from various prominent Italian media outlets that closely followed the match, particularly regarding Jits's performance, was sharp and critical. One local media outlet, Sassuolo News, which served as a reference for Sassuolo's news, gave an unsatisfactory assessment of the Indonesian national team captain's performance. They gave him a relatively low score of only 5, reflecting dissatisfaction with Jits's actions, which were considered reckless and unnecessary, especially in a critical situation in the penalty area, which could have been fatal for the team. This media criticism also highlighted the fact that Jits's foul was not an isolated incident, but rather a pattern, following a similar error in the match against Juventus. This raised concerns about Jits's focus and concentration under pressure. This type of negligence can have serious consequences and be detrimental to the team as a whole in a competitive competition like the Italian Serie A. This criticism was not only technical, but also had implications for the mental health of the players, who must maintain consistency and high alertness in every match. In its official report, Sassuolo News clearly stated that Jits committed a handball violation, which falls under the category of rough play. This was the second penalty awarded for a handball in 2 consecutive matches. Mistakes like these are extremely detrimental to the team, providing the opposition with a golden opportunity to score from the penalty spot. This statement illustrates that despite Jay's technical defensive prowess and superior physical abilities, this recurring pattern of errors can be a potential weakness for opponents to exploit. Therefore, immediately improving this aspect is crucial to maintaining Sassuolo's defensive stability and ensuring success in an increasingly competitive and discipline-demanding league. Despite this significant error, when viewed from the match data and statistics, JS demonstrated dedication and hard work that are commendable from an objective perspective. Although one penalty miss drew attention, the statistics show that he received a fairly good rating of 6.8 based on various professional assessment parameters. Throughout his time on the pitch in this highly competitive match, Jay made 6 effective defensive moves, playing a crucial role in disrupting the opponent's attacking play. These included 2 saves that effectively disrupted Cagliari's possession. 4 clearances were made to clear dangerous areas around the penalty box, and 3 attempts to win the ball back after losing possession. These statistics clearly demonstrate Jaitis's high dedication and consistent performance at the back, especially under intense pressure from aggressive opponents. This also suggests that, despite weaknesses that need to be addressed, Jay has undeniably contributed significantly to the team's overall defensive stability. JS's performance throughout the season is also impressive and encouraging. Since the start of the 2025 to 2026 Serie A season, Jay has played for Sassuolo in 30 matches at the top level of the Italian league. This number of appearances demonstrates the coaching team's strong confidence in his ability to defend and support the backline. This fact reinforces Jay's position as a reliable central defender, a leader on the pitch capable of coordinating the defense and motivating his teammates. This trust also demonstrates Jay's high level of consistency and professionalism. Despite crucial errors, luck was still on Jay's and Sassuolo's side, as the team's frontline staged a remarkable comeback. They displayed fierce and aggressive play to turn the game around and secure a valuable victory. This situation indicated that the Sassuolo team worked collectively and harmoniously under pressure in this high-pressure match. Teamwork and a strong fighting spirit were key to securing 3 crucial points to improve their performance. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel.